Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream where we are back out here to build more path. Yes, even more path. I'm going to do a little bit right now, and then I might do some more tonight. That means possibly 2 live streams one day. We'll see. We'll see, but we're getting really close to finishing the path off. The game I developed turned into much more, so we're going to, when we, like, I think I'm just going to break it up every once in a while. We'll just roll and play and just kind of see how it's going. I may even try to get a webcam situation going where I can see if I can get it to show the dice while we do it. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I haven't even set anything up or tried anything. We'll do it live. It'll be great. But yeah, it's just path. So without further ado, let me go ahead and pray to get us started. Dear Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for letting me be able to stream. Just pray that everything goes well and smoothly, and that I'll be able to glorify you in this. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So, let's do this. So I actually developed 2 more characters. If I'll show you them right here. Efolia, who lost. Average stats, nothing to gawk at here, but high health. And Varus, who did win. Both female. Lower on the vitality, but crazy intellect here, so the counters were insane. And also some pretty strong strength there. So yeah, we're still kind of developing, figuring it out. I ended up making a new template book for that, and obviously Jotunheim, and then you obviously have the instructions. I changed the average system. So it's now no longer 25 to 40, it's now 15 to 40. So the reason for this is that way the below and above average is the smaller part. So it's 20, 25, 15 in terms of the ranges. And then it goes backwards this way as well. I think that makes it a little bit better for that. So we did that. All right. I think, actually, you know what I think is a good idea? We're going to build the path from here to here. And then we're going to move all our stuff. Every time we move our stuff from a location, we'll do a battle. I think that makes the most sense. I'm going to start the path at those flowers. That's what I said. That's what we'll do. All right. Let's grab ourselves the trapdoors here. Nope. Those aren't trapdoors. And we'll just talk about random stuff, I guess. Well, we'll figure it out. So let's start here. I don't know. We'll just do this for now. We'll just like friggin' throw in a little bit of a patch of coarse dirt to get started. This will make things a little bit easier. Gonna clear my inventory a little bit. Throw those in there. Oh! Ooh, 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 whoa, whoa. Give me a second. Okay. My bad, G. I also went around killing a bunch of chickens. So, yeah, we mass murdered chickens like crazy. Let's see, I want to go there, and the path starts here. So I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Hey, don't do that. Alright. Okay. Well, we'll see how this looks to start. It'll be a little bit difficult since there's technically no true start to this. So we don't actually know what it is. We don't actually have both ends here. We just have one. How's that looking? That look good? Not really. Not really. This side, I think, is better than this side. I think we need to pull this side in a little bit. Like that. And I think that will probably do it. And I'll probably have to dump my inventory a little bit more. I need to leave, like, 3 or 4 hot, like, inventory spaces for this. Because I keep running out of inventory space. It's unfortunate. I don't think I kept the bundles on me. I should have kept the bundle on me for all of these, like, flowers and stuff. That would have been smart. But it's all the way back home, which is really far away right now. We could probably fly back, but that's going to be a decent chunk of time to do that. And I don't really want to quite yet. We can just do this. That's fine. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What the? Okay. Okay. Let's grab everything. Perfection. Alright, so now this goes... So we want it to meet up right there. Right here. We're going to have a little bit of an arched path on this bridge here. I think it's just going to be an easy stone arch still. But it's going to be in one arch. I think the one that starts back there is going to be much larger. Maybe there will be a pillar in there. But this is going to go to about yay. I think actually once this starts, we'll make it path. And we'll just fill this part in. Fix up the river. When we're turning that into a town. When we make this town and stuff, doesn't that... From far away, doesn't that look like a giant villager? Anyways, we'll worry about that later. So let's see. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Alright. Also, I don't know if I ever mentioned this. I know I've talked about it before, but I don't know if I mentioned this. So I watched The Rookie, right? I finished watching it. It took me, what, 2 to 3 weeks to binge watch 7 seasons. Look it. I really like... I'm actually going to go all the way here. Because I think it makes more sense. I really like binge watching shows, and personally, binge watching is now my medium of rating a show. If I can't binge watch it, I don't personally think it's a good TV show. And like, so for some people, that's kind of crazy. We're going to ignore that this is even here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For some people, that's like really crazy, right? Because it's like, how could that be your only medium there? And I'm like, well, I mean, it's just it is what it is, but it's like I binge watch shows. I really like watching an episode. Like if your TV show doesn't make me want to watch the next episode, then I feel like it's doing something wrong. I should be excited to dive into the next episode, and like I should want to watch the next episode. But there are some TV shows where like I watch one episode and I'm not really interested in watching the next. And so like I watch one and then I do something else because I need to take a break from it already because I'm not intrigued enough. Now I will admit some of the shows that are like an hour long, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense that it might take a little bit. You might only watch one episode at a time, but you still should be excited. And honestly, like if you end up watching 2 episodes, that's pretty good. That's kind of my measure there. I want to binge watch. I want to watch the TV show. If I'm not excited about watching the TV show, then why am I watching it? You know what I'm saying? I feel like TV shows these days, like modern TV shows, don't do that, and I think that's why they're just not as good. I just like modern entertainment; it's just not good these days. The storytelling is kind of pants. It's just bad. It's just bad storytelling. Like there's nothing. Here, I'm gonna take this down. I'm gonna terraform some of this. Figure this out. Let's see, because we need to go there. So we need to wrap around straight now towards there. So I think we can go a little bit, like, straight here. I don't want to go down yet. So I want to go... I want to do, like, a bigger portion of the path. So, like, we're gonna terraform this, don't we? And then right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a little smiley face. It's kind of funny. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. And we'll actually terraform this. Honestly, I'll probably do that. The terraforming doesn't matter. The terraforming doesn't matter. Don't get distracted by the terraforming. Okay. So. And that's why I was following it. Ba, 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 ba. So yeah. The Rookie is now completed watching. And like. It was good. I honestly liked it. I'm excited for season 8. It's one of those TV shows where I think this is a great example. Personally, I don't agree with a lot of the woke movement. This is going to be some crazy statements right now. That isn't already crazy enough for modern. If that isn't crazy for our modern day. I'm not a huge fan of the woke stuff. But personally not like bothered by it. What I do get bothered by is when your medium of entertainment stops being entertaining and starts pushing a worldview. Then I start to have a problem. The whole point of it being called entertainment is I'm trying to forget what's going on in the real world and trying to be entertained by a fictional world. That's what I want when I watch a TV show or watch an anime or something. You know what I mean? Read a book. Like I do that. That's what I'm looking for, is I want an escape from reality. And when TV shows start to bring that fake, or that reality into its fiction, it starts to get problematic. Robian, thank you for the follow there. Don't know why it didn't pop up. Streamlabs might be down or something. Wait, I don't know if that's Streamlabs. Not sure. Right, so modern entertainment just isn't good. Isn't good these days. Hey, how are you? So my headphones are not working. I can't hear you, but you can find me in the chat. Gotcha. I'm doing well. Your headphones ain't working, so I will reply. Well, we'll be nice. We'll see if this, do this, we do. Whoops. It always auto caps. How about you? I don't know why. It just auto caps it. Okay, where's the next spot here? Okay, right. But I think The Rookie is a great example of how to have your personal worldview applied to your world without it being about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, I'm gonna go all the way here. We're gonna really pull it. Yeah, we're gonna pull it over. Because it's like there's a lot of gay side characters, if you can call them side characters. It's interesting. But like it's about, just for context, The Rookie is about cops, right? It's about a 40-year-old rookie cop and basically just following him, and just his adventures being a cop in LA. That's what the whole show is about, basically. That sums it up. Just police doing police work, right? And there's a lot of essentially what you would call woke stuff in it. However, it's side characters mainly. In fact, now that there's only one main character who was gay. It's funny because while they were making the show, they were definitely like trying to figure out what they wanted to do with this character. Like, okay, how do we want to make this guy? Like, what do we want to do for his character? I'm going to, let's see if that's right there, because we're definitely gonna do 3 there, and then I think, honestly, I think I'm just gonna do a line of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that'll be easier, right? So he was gay, and they were trying to figure out what to do with his character. They didn't really know what direction they were going to take his character in, which I think is kind of funny. Also, do I play League of Legends? I do not play League of Legends. Hold on. I do not, sorry. Boom. At least you can see that on there. Hopefully the video comes back. Whenever I make the screen bigger or smaller, it disappears and goes black. But it's fine. It only lasts a little bit, so it doesn't really bother me that much compared to a lot of the other technical difficulties. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Right, so he was gay, and they were trying to figure it out, and it's funny because like there was one, really early on, there was one spot where he mentioned going to church, and then like they didn't go anywhere with that, and they decided, okay, we're not going to do that, and then they decided we're going to make him gay, but it wasn't even like a huge thing. It just ended up becoming a part of his character, and that really was all it was. It was a part of his character, and they left it at that. They just said, it's a part of your character. And then, really, we're going to focus on your relationship with the people at your workplace, your friendships, etc., etc. We're going to focus in on that. Even all of the relationships that were romantic in the show were very sidelined. Like, none of them were huge plot points, but there were like a few of them that were, but all of those ended up in marriage, which I was actually very like happy with. I think I actually want to do this. I think that's better. Yeah, I like that. I like that path. Okay, and then it'll I have enough on me. I can get it over here. Nice. I don't play this game. League of Legends is a cursed game. Don't play this game with League of Legends. I'm trying to figure out if there was meant to be a comma there. Nice. Don't play this game, comma, League of Legends is a cursed game. Never had played LOL before. Not sure. You need my age. Don't think that's really important to anything. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna, once again, I'm gonna make this a line, just because I think it's gonna be easier when figuring out the bridge, and then we can do more. We can go to this. Right. Where was I? So, yeah. And then, yeah, there was like the huge theme of marriage in the show, which I was very much like a fan of. Granted, it's a secular content, so not perfect, but it was like, get married. There were a lot of happy marriages and stuff. And so far I haven't seen, like, our main character, got divorced. in the show, right? That's kind of what brought him to LA in the first place, is he's kind of getting a new life for himself. Is like really like his drive and main like personality was like getting a new starting anew, and that's why he became a cop, right? That's his backstory. And then he eventually gets married in it, and it all works out. And then like all the other characters are either already married and staying in it, and like. But my point is, we don't see divorce happen on screen or with characters. I think there was one character that I think technically actually no, there was one character, but even then I don't remember ever seeing anything about it. It just kind of happened. I was like, oh, they were divorced all of a sudden, and he like it happened, but they didn't make it a plot point. And I was like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. That they didn't focus on it is kind of nice. They focused on other points of the story rather. Get the frick out of here. Go away. Freaking wants my carrots. All right, we're gonna move our stuff, and then we'll do a little bit of a Warriors of the Mind. I feel like I need a new name for it now because it's no longer the original game that it was. Not that one. Alright, the good news is a lot of our stuff is lasting quite a while, so that's nice. I need to shriek. Alright, while I'm shrieking, I can respond to this guy. I don't think this is important. 20. Honestly. It's not like you can... It's funny. It's actually something... little side trail note. It's always funny how, like, people are like, oh, don't give away personal information online, etc., blah, blah, blah. All of the traps. Work. I've been here, but I was on a call. Okay. Denali be working in the background. I always find it funny, like, how much people freak out about, like, sharing personal information on there. I do think there's a limit to how much, like, but then again, I think there's so much of it, it's like, oh, don't give your real name out online. Like, oh, don't do that. And I'm like, if you were to meet a random person, let's say you're, like, sitting down at a doctor's office waiting for your turn for the appointment, and there's a dude right next to you, and you're just a really talkative person, you strike up a chat, there's a possibility your names are going to be exchanged during that interaction. There's also a good chance that what you do for employment is, where you go to school, what your major is, if you are still in school. Possibly even where you live, maybe not a direct address, that's crazy, but like general location. Yeah, you'd probably be like, yeah, oh yeah, I live up there, you know what I mean? Or you give those things away to a random stranger at a doctor's office, but don't do it online to the guy that's probably all the way in Australia and can't really do anything. Even if he has your exact address, what is he gonna call a nuclear strike on your house? Like, I always just find that funny that we freak out about not giving away information online when we do it all the time in real life to people that could actually do something with that information because they live near you, because they're in your area, and you're giving them away this information that they now know. But it's not a problem because you've met them. But on the other side of a screen, it's like, yeah, don't give away personal information. Like, don't give away like social security card numbers or credit card numbers. But you wouldn't do that in real life anyway, so it should be a no-brainer, right? I just find that funny. I really do, because I personally don't have an issue like saying, like, honestly, I don't have an issue with giving away my age. It's just interesting to like talk with somebody about that. But then again, it kind of makes sense, because if you can't see their face, it makes sense that you're going to want... I'm going to try setting this up. I'm going to pause the game real quick. It makes sense that you wouldn't want to... let me see if I can do this. I mean, that kind of works. I don't want to do an accidental face reveal. How do I check the camera without putting it on stream? Because the way I check the camera normally... I don't know how that is. I just gave you my age. I don't know what you're question marking me out. You didn't ask me a question. I don't tell folks my name because it's uncommon enough to be identifiable. and doxing slash swatting is a thing. What do you mean by doxing and swatting? I don't know exactly what that's a reference to. Not that it's likely, but it's far less likely if no one knows who slash where I am. That's fair, and like everyone's different. Some people don't like giving away personal information. I have grown into this personality of being an open book with everything, including like vulnerable parts of my life. I actively like that's something you get to know me the minute you meet me. Now, it's only stuff that comes up in conversation. I don't actively like say, "Oh, here's all this information," but I'm not if you ask me like a question, I'll probably answer it without lying because I try to be as honest as I possibly can. I treat honesty very highly. So like I tend to just be an open book. So for me, it doesn't bother me. And I like for other people, I just find it funny when people like go crazy freak out when you give some information that you probably would have told somebody if you had met them in a doctor's office or wherever. I just find it funny. Okay, he did see that. I want to test the camera, but I'm scared of doing an accidental face reveal. Not that it matters that much, but swatting is calling the police to someone's house for a fake dangerous event. It can cause expensive damage or worse. Oh, literally. I see when you said swatting, I honestly thought like SWAT first. Let's just give it one of those. That's what I thought. But and then I was like, then I thought it was like swatting, like fly swatting, like swatting something away, and I figured it was like a reference to something else. No, you mean literally calling SWAT. So why would you get charged with it? If you did nothing wrong, you shouldn't have any charge. I mean, I guess a broken door, because they'll break the door down, and any other damages they do for searching your house for said item is on you, but the actual damages and expenses of, like, falsely calling the police and SWAT, etc., isn't on you because you didn't call. Somebody else did. And they can probably track it down. But I feel that, yeah. And as I said, like, I wouldn't give my direct address. But, like, I'm the kind of guy, like, I'm not afraid to say, yeah, I live in Virginia. I don't think that's crazy. To say, like, yeah, I live in a state, even city, up to that point, I don't think is, like, crazy. Ah, there it is. I knew it. Every time, Robian, I appreciate the long delay of this, but it is an art. It's always the art, but I appreciate sticking around, but that's cool. Where else are you streaming? Twitch. I do have somebody in Twitch. I don't know if Twitch is working. He may just be chilling in a blank stream. But he said his headphones ain't working, so I'm typing to him a lot. It's not about legal charges, but for example, I heard of folks having, yeah, doors knocked down, tears gas. Yeah, typical SWAT entrance. Now that I've watched The Rookie, I actually know what that roughly looks like on an entertainment scale. But still, I have a rough idea. Twitch. I already answered that. I'm scared to turn the camera on and check this out because I'm afraid of face revealing by accident. Because I want to try to get, like, a top-down view of my computer so we can see that. Because that's clearly not how that's supposed to go. Oh, is it supposed to do that? That makes so much sense. I think I just figured out how this is supposed to go. Okay. I could also do this. That's true. I could close it. Hold up. All right. I do have a webcam thingy. We're gonna pop this on. The Twitch player isn't working for me in your stream. Cool beans. We figured that was going to happen. That's okay. That's why we dual stream to that. I'm gonna move the microphone because I'm gonna sit up on my chair. I'm gonna pop this over to the webcam to see if I can get a dice cam, and then get some other stuff set up. Boom. Okay. Aha. Okay. We're chilling. get to see my janky setup, which is funny. You get to see my janky setup. Look at it. Move dice. Move dice. Okay. Alright, let's go back to streaming. I popped this down. Okay. Because I need both of them to be up and running. So we're going to make a new scene. We're going to do dice cam. Okay. So we're going to do where hold up. Hold up. I need to see what game capture. That's what I'm looking for. I need a game capture. Game capture. Game capture 3. For a specific window. Minecraft. Work for reals. That should all be normal. And then we can make this. I forgot. Making it full screen changes things. There we go. Okay. Now we can do that. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, I might as well just click off camera and then just bring it back up when needed. All right, and then we need a video capture device to Okay, but it's like not working. What? Why is it not working? What did we do for this one? We did video capture device. So why it no work? I'm struggling. Alright, let's remove, because it's like stuck in the top corner. Okay. Let's just do add existing. There we go. It may be a little janky, but you know, that's fine. Actually, I'm going to put it over here because you don't need to see like FPS and stuff. That's fine. That's chill. Look at that. Look at that. We have dice cam. We have dice cam. Ah, that's the wrong button. Okay. It looks so weird at the top of the screen. Alright, so we're going to grab 2 books. 2 feathers. And 2 ink sacs. We's gonna make 2 books. I can pull this down. And yes, if you're wondering, this is a plank of wood. Because I sit in a giant chair. So there's that. I need to like prep the battlefield real quick. We're gonna need those for you. And those for you. We're going to have the dice be based on the books in our inventory. So this will be the left side. Right, it'll be this side. This will be that side. These 2. Okay. So let's grab out the template and just make. I'm gonna do it smartly because last time I did it one at a time, and I should have done it like this. Okay, I smacked that twice. Okay. And that's the last one. Because then the next one is just additional. That's how you spell additional. Additional information. I feel like Dicecam is really going to add some epicness to this. Oh my gosh. I need a new keyboard, bro. This one I keep fat fingering. I don't know if a new keyboard's really going to fix it. But like my laptop keyboard was totally fine. Alright. We don't need the template anymore. We need the instruction manual. Okay. So, let's... Oh, you know what else we need? We need the character names. So we need utilities. We need that. Okay, so... let's see. We will have... Caraco. Let me mail. It's gonna mail. Okay, so Caraco. Let's see. Caraco is gonna be left side, so roll these. Ooh! Okay, so it's 191 for the health, and his hit threshold is gonna be 9. That's pretty good, and then we'll have where I actually keep track of his health over there. Let's see, his strength. How strong is he? He is, ooh, pretty good, 75, which is no longer above average. It is now Sir Average. If you're wondering why it's Sir Average, his agility sucks. He is sub, or no, he's not sub, he's below average. So sub is the Latin root for below. Sir is the Latin root for above. So sub and Sir. That's kind of why I did it. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but I don't know what else to do. Because I need something for that middle ground. But he's super smart. Look at that. 98. Crazy. So he's terrible agility. So he's not going to dodge a lot. But if he does manage to get a successful dodge, he's got -2 on his dodge. He can counter a lot easier. Okay, now we got to figure out his weapon. He's a 5. These are the instructions, by the way. It's a hammer. Okay. I was kind of hoping it would be a katana. You know what? No. RNG, baby. Hammer. Not gonna worry about special. And we're gonna... Oh, wait, hold up. I need to... Caraco. Okay. Caraco. Character sheet. Okay. Move that back. Alright. And then... we'll have, I want to do, like, ooh, Baskalak. Yeah. That's a cool name, Baskalak. Caraco versus Basalak. I don't know if I changed the gender on Caraco. That's fine. Okay, so we'll use these dice now. This is Baskalak. Ooh, and okay. He's slightly less beefy. So 8.8. So he's actually going to have a hit threshold of 9 because we round up. At least that's what we're doing right now. His strength. Ooh, baby. It's 91. So he is going to have a nice time. His agility is 68. That is above as Sir Average. That's Sir Average. So that's... pretty cool. Actually, now that I think about it, I think in that last round, one of them, because above 60 is Sir Average, I did that wrong last time. So he's got a +1, and ooh, he's not very smart, though. Just kidding. Intellect is how you can do counters. And a 10 for the weapon. Can't really see it. Is... That's funny, Baskalak has the katana. Oh, that's so backwards. What the heck? That's so backwards. Caraco should have a katana, and Baskalak makes more sense to have a hammer. I don't make the rules. I don't know if that's how you spell it. Hold up. I might have to change that. Is that how you spell it? Baskalak. Oh, no, that is how you spell it. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, so that's those characters done. That's all we really need right now. How well can you guys see the dice? Like, are they visible enough? I mean, yeah, you can't really read it. It's too far. Can I... Oh, that was not meant to be. Can I zoom into that? I wanna... Let's scroll. That's weird. Get rid of that. Remove. That's weird. So what does this do? That's trying to like figure out if there's a way to zoom, because you can't really see. That doesn't do nothing either. Luma key. Oh, wow. That's weird. Alright, well, I don't see a zoom function. What's HDR over? I have no idea. Because these are more like effects. Sharpen? It's right here, this light. Even still. You still can't see it. Make it bigger. Alright, well, that'll have to do, because there's no way I can make it bigger. Alright, we need to use an unbiased die to figure out who goes first. Alright, I need to take a sip of Coke. I already had a Coke with me before I started. In case you're wondering, I went rock climbing earlier today. Alright, so we're going to use an unbiased die. Odd, even. It landed on a 3. Oh, good, you can see that. If I roll right here, you can, like... sorry, this area is pretty visible, which is nice. I wish I could have it more zoomed in. I just really want to zoom it in right here. But unfortunately, there's no way I can do that. So that's 3. Odd goes first, which means Caraco is first. So, to play, we need to roll a d20 to figure out his attack. He has no mortality right now. So, I only see black screen. Could be my end, though. I can't watch high-quality videos. Don't worry, Wildly Coyote. It's not you. Twitch just be glitching, and for whatever reason, it goes into a paradox state where I'm both live and not live at the same time. Hopefully my audio is going through. I am live on YouTube as well. Here, I got a button for that now. So you can be able to watch the live stream over on my YouTube channel with full video. We are doing Warriors of the Mind right now as we take a break from building the path. We have Caraco versus Bascalac. Right, Caraco wielding a hammer, even though he has a Japanese name, and Bascalac wielding a katana, despite having a name that makes more sense to have a hammer. But it's fine. So we're going to roll to attack first, so... Oh! Oh, baby! Okay, so... That's a nat 20. If I put that up there to camera, have an autofocus. Nat 20, you can see that. So, what does that mean? Nat 20 is a non-dodgeable hit, and it's an automatic mortal wound. Mortal wounds is what this mortality number is. When you have a mortal wound, before the start of your turn, you roll a specific die based on that. Hold on, let me pull this out. Right? So that's a mortal wound, right? That's based on your strength, right? So this is the mortal wound condition. For level 1, you roll a d6. And then so on and so forth, you take that damage. Now, and this is the level. So, Karako, I believe, has 75 strength. So, 75, if we look at this, 75 falls within this range, which means he has to roll a 13 to a 20, anywhere in that range, and he lands a mortal wound, which gives him extra d8 of damage, which he maxes out on. Maxed out on. So that's 28 for damage to Baskalak. He immediately gets 28 damage. So let's get rid of that 8. And then let's get rid of that 60. And it's a mortal wound, so he gets 1 level. Now, Baskalak has 9 hit threshold, meaning for the first 2 levels of mortality, he doesn't have to roll because he can't roll high enough. The hit threshold, what hit threshold does, if I can find it, your hit threshold is the amount of damage required to take during the mortal wound condition. If the damage you take is less than your hit threshold, you don't take the damage. And it's 10% of the D100 roll to calculate vitality. And vitality, you start with 100 and you add a D100, which is what we did to start, which gave him, if we look at Karako, Karako has 9 hit threshold. And Baskalak also, yeah, he has 9 because it's 8.8. So that means you have to roll a d6. 6 is obviously never going to be greater than 9, so he just doesn't have to worry about it, which is nice for him. But a non-dodgeable hit is not ideal. I don't think either of these guys have... Yeah, he's got slightly above average, a +1, and he's got -2 to dodge. So that was Karako's turn. So now it's Baskalak's turn. So, theoretically, you'd roll a d6 to decide, or to figure out the mortal wound, but he is so beefy, we don't have to worry about that. So we just roll his attack, and he rolls a 6 to attack, to which Karako can dodge. He rolls a 14 -2, so that's 12, which is still greater than 6. So he dodges, which means with a 98, he can roll a d6. If you're really smart, you can counter. The higher your intelligent, your higher your intellect, the smaller the die you use to calculate whether or not you hit a counter. To hit a counter on a d6, he has to roll a 6. And then for the next, or that's above average. For Sir Average, you roll a d8 and then a d12, d10, d20. That's how the counters go. So if he rolls a d6, he can counter, and the 14 is his damage. So the better you dodge, the more damage you do in a counter. I feel like that makes sense. So if he gets a 6, he counters right now. He does not. So he just dodges, meaning he doesn't take any damage whatsoever in that attack. So that's that turn done. It's now Karako's turn again. He rolls for the attack. An 18 to attack, which is another mortal wound condition, because that's above 13. And our guy has a 68. Ooh, a 19 +1, because he's got 68, so he's slightly above average. 19 +1. He dodges. He dodges that attack. He's got a 32 on intellect, which... My math ain't mathing. 32 is in sub-average. Hold on. Sub-average. So... Sub-average, he rolls a d12. So Baskalak can counter with 19 to damage, and you get an additional d4 extra damage if you land a counter. He has to roll a d12, land a 12 to counter. He rolled a 3. So he just dodges. That's all that happens. And because he dodges, he doesn't get the mortal wound. So now... It's Baskalak's turn to attack. He does not take damage for the mortal wound, so he rolls 19 to attack against a 4. Yeah, he has the average. You have terrible agility. Karako's gonna take that damage. The 4 is not gonna do him well. And 91 strength is 10 to 20. You have a 1.5 chance. That's not right. You have a 50%, that's the word I'm looking for, 50% chance to land the counter. So 91, which means he's going to, or sorry, not counter, land the mortal wound. So he's going to get this for a mortal wound. So that's 19 plus 3. That's not a D8. 5. 19 plus 5, so that's going to be 24. 24 damage to him, so I do my math weird, so that's 23. So we're going to get to 70, and then another 3, so 6 and 7. And now he's got 1 level of mortal wound condition. But he's a level 9, so he doesn't have to really, neither of these characters have to worry about that just yet. That was Karako. No. That was Basilisk's attack against Karako. Karako missed the dodge. So now it's Karako's turn to attack. He's going to roll an 18 to attack, which is a mortal wound, against an 18. That's actually a +1, so that's 19. Dodges is equal to or greater than. That's all you have to do to land the dodge. So, either way, Basilisk dodges. 10 on the 12, so he does not counter, just a dodge. Karako's not looking too hot. It is now Basilisk's turn to attack. He rolls a 5 to attack. 17 to dodge. Technically 15, but it was going to be greater than anyways. So he counters. Can he counter? Sorry, that was a 15. No, that was a 17, sorry. That was a 17. It was 15 because it's -2. 17 does not get the counter. So that's that round. Karako goes for the attack. 12 to attack. 14 to dodge, so that's a dodge. Does not get the counter. Rolls for attack. 19 to attack. 11, so that's not going to go through. That's another mortal wound, which still doesn't matter. It's only 20 damage to Karako. So he's now at 47 with 2 levels of mortal wound condition, which still doesn't go through because the 8 is still less than 9. So yeah, though Karako's not looking too great in this battle. Speaking of Karako, it's now his turn to attack. Does not need to roll for that. Attacks with a 16. Basilisk, he does not manage to get that, and that's a mortal wound with 2, so that's 18 damage to you. So that's gonna, let's do 20 plus 2, so that's 40 plus 2. And you also have 2 levels of mortal wound condition. Neither of you guys have to worry about that. Okay, so Basilisk goes for the attack, rolls a 13 to attack, against a 5, so that's going to go through. 13, Basilisk is a 91, that's definitely another mortal wound. Now we're getting into some interesting stuff. That's 20 damage to you, and now we got a 3. Now, there's only, he has to roll a 10 to take damage here. Karako has to roll a 10 to take damage, so we're going to roll for his attack anyways. 11. We're going to grab a d10. If this rolls 10, okay, it does not. So he does not have to worry about that damage. Does not take the damage because he's still beefy. 11 against a 5, so that goes through. Though he's not strong enough to land another mortal wound. So that's just 11 damage, right? I'm just going to check. I don't have this stuff memorized. So yeah, he is in this range. 75 is in this range. Yeah, 13 or above. So that's just 11 damage to Basilisk. So that's going to be 31. No more mortal wound. It is Basilisk's turn to attack. He rolls, oh, baby! Natural 20. 24 damage to Karako, which gives him level 4 mortality. So that's 0 and 3. Karako's not looking too good. This is like a one-sided battle. Karako is like, he's not bad in terms of his stats. Their agility, I mean, his agility being low is kind of sucky. But that's not dodgeable anyway, so it's like, it's a nat 20. You're gonna land that. So that's massive damage there. Massive damage, nat 20. And then we've got Karako's turn to attack. That's a d12 for damage, and it's 12, so he takes the damage. So that goes to 1, and that's going to be 91. He's now sub 100. He went from 191 to 91. He's not looking so good. He's not looking so good. It is going to be a 2 for the attack, which is followed by a 5. Not great. And he has to roll a d12. He does not get the counter. It's now Baskalak's turn to attack. He rolls a 9 to attack. Can he dodge? He can. 17 or 15. But really, 17. Can he counter? He cannot counter. Karako, your whole thing is countering. That was Basilisk's attack. Karako is now up to attack. 10. Oh my gosh. That's just unlucky. Karako's just going through the ringer right now. That goes through. He rolls a 2 to attack again. Against a 5. Wow, literally just saw that. Counter? Question mark? No counter. Baskalak's turn. Still needs a mortal wound great enough for this. Alright. Rolls for the attack. 2 for the attack. Rolls a 3. But it's -2. So it's actually a nat 1. Because Karako can't dodge for squat. So that, 2, goes through. And he takes the damage. He's now at 79. Alright, Karako's turn to attack. He attacks with a 19. That's going to be a mortal wound. If it lands, it does not land. And I kept forgetting he's got a +1. That hasn't really been an effect yet, but that's an 18. Because he's a Sir average, so he gets +1. That's a 17. That does not get through, so that's a 19. That's also a mortal wound there, if I can find the D8. +4, so that's going to be 23. 23 to Baskalak, and that's a 3rd level of mortal wound. Oh! And he takes 10. You don't take 10 damage. Karako takes 10 more damage for his level 4 of mortality. So let's see. We're going to do 20 first, and then we'll subtract 3. Let's see, 20, so that's going to be that, and then -3 is going to be 8. And then Karako, you need to take another 10 points of damage. Alright, it is Baskalak's turn to attack. Baskalak rolls a 6, and it's a D... Let's see, no, for level 3, it's a D10. D10. That is an 8. Does not go through. That's a 6 to attack. Against a 13 or 11, but it's a 13. So that is a dodge. Does he get the counter? Does not get the counter, but does get the dodge. You know, I'm not going to lie. When you don't get the counter, you do more damage to yourself because friggin' 4 levels of mortality. D12 roll. It's a 5. Does not take that damage. Rolls for the attack. A 6 on the attack. And a 17 for the dodge. Gets the dodge. Does not get the counter. So that is Karako. Baskalak's turn. Rolls D10 for mortal wound. Does not get mortally wounded at all. 17, that's going to be another mortal wound. So that's going to be, well, that only gets added later. Can he dodge? 16, but -2, so no. So that's going to be 19. And that is the final level of mortal wound that you can gain right now. That's a lot of mortal wound. 5 levels. That's a D20 every time for mortal wound. So that's a 19. So we're gonna -20. So it's gonna, and then we're gonna add 1. Actually, we can do this easier. 19, 0, 5. He gained health. Karako's not looking so good. And that was an attack. So, Karako, we're going to roll for his mortal wound. Does go through. That's an 11, so that's going to be -10, -1. 39. And then this is his attack, is a 15 to attack against an 11. So that goes through, and a 15 is enough for a mortal wound. 6, so that is going to be 21 damage. And you get level 4 mortal wound. Let's see, 21. Let's bump this down 2, and then bump this down 1. 87 against 39. That's kind of crazy. So now it's your turn. You rolled a d12 for mortal wound damage. Does not take it. Rolls a 2 for the attack. Rolls a 15 to do that. Counter? Yes! Counter! We got a counter. So that's a 15 to counter. And plus 3. So that's 18 to counter. That's 18 to counter. So 77 minus 8. We'll do minus 7. Minus 1. 69. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Counters do not do mortal wounds, just so you know. I didn't mention that in the instructions. I probably should. But counters do not inflict mortal wounds. It's only on straight hits. So that was a counter, which means Karako gets to go again. Except he has to roll for friggin'... Okay, he doesn't have to worry about that mortal wound. Rolls a 12 to attack, which does not reach mortal wound. 1, so that goes through. That just is a straight 12. So that's going to be 7, 57. And then it is now Basculak. Does not take the damage. Rolls a 7 to attack against a 10. So that is going to go through. Can we see another counter? We do not see another counter, just a dodge. It is now Karako's turn. D20 for the damage, does not take any damage. 17 for the attack. 1 to dodge. He does not make the dodge, and that's a 5 for extra damage. That's 22 damage that Basilisk is going to take, and he is also at level 5 for mortality. They're both almost dead. They're literally dying right now. This is exciting. So that's what did I say? 22. So that's going to be 37 minus 2, 35. So it's 35 against 39. Karako is now leading in health. That's a crazy turn of events. And that was an attack. So it's now Basilisk's turn. He needs to roll a d20 for damage. 18! Takes 18 points of damage. 25 minus 5 minus 3. 17. Rolls for an attack. 1. 11, so that's an attack. Does he get the counter? Does not get the counter. Karako does not get the counter. It is now his turn. He rolls for mortal wound. Does not take the damage. Oh, is this going to be a turn of events? Okay, rolls. That's a 2. I almost stopped it and re-rolled it. I should have for him. That's a 2 to attack against a 16, so he can counter. Does he get the counter? He gets the counter. Oh, baby. 3 to that. That's a 19 for damage there. That's a 19 for damage on the counter there. That's crazy turn of events. So it is now Basilisk's time. He could theoretically die to his mortal wounds. We're going to roll that right now. He does not take any damage for mortal wound. Rolls an 18 to attack, which mortal wound doesn't matter right now. 19 to dodge, but minus 2 for agility, so it's only a 17. So it goes through, which leaves Karako on 2 health. He's on 2 health. That's insane. That's crazy. Just saying. 2 health for that damage. Does not take it. Karako could die to his mortal wounds. Does he take the damage for mortal wound? He rolls. That's a 12. That goes through. He keels over because his wounds were too severe before he could land the last attack. What a display. What a battle that was. Thank you, Streamlabs, for doing your job. I much appreciate. Look at that. Look at that. And we get a perfect modding going on from Streamlabs. Oh, that was fun. Like, the start of these battles is a little slow, I will admit, but then it just starts ramping up the more the battle goes on. It's just like, man, What a turn of events. Karako almost got the upper hand there. That was crazy. He almost got the upper hand. He brought Baskalak down with that counter. And then Baskalak took 18 points of damage due to his level 5 of mortal wounds. I don't think any character has seen this much blood here. Oh, baby. So, Karako is the winner. That was fun. Oh, man. Back to stream. Back to stream. Maybe. There we go. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That was fun. Alright, I gotta move the webcam because I don't like where it's at. I'm gonna just move that down. Just gonna pop that back down. Oh! That was a battle and a half there. I don't know about you, but I was on the edge of my seat during that last bit because that was just crazy. That's fun. I like that. And I feel like it's well balanced. Like, Deem can open plus gulp. Oh, is the sound not working? Dang it. I think those are down right now. Either that or it's because Twitch isn't, like, currently on. I don't know, because you have no hydrate command. Well, that isn't a hydrate command. That's supposed to do a sound bite of me opening a can, and then there's, it was a really nice, like, can opening. When I opened a can of Coke. It's supposed to be sound. But I am hydrating. I'm almost done with that. But I might need to grab some water. Oh my gosh. I don't know, Denali, if you were listening to that whole thing, but hoo-wee, that was crazy. That was crazy. I'm just saying, that was... Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Insane. I know it isn't, but normally I randomly tap the hydrate command while I'm working. Fair enough, fair enough. That makes sense. Okay. Let's get ourselves prepared for... I only have 3 shulker boxes, of course, dirt left, guys. No. That's terrible. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna do this for dirt. And then I'm gonna leave these 4 open. It's fine, we'll leave it there. I'm gonna leave these 4 open for, like, the seeds and all of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like it just makes sense to go straight, honestly. Either that or maybe I push this over by 1 block. I think I'm gonna push this over by 1 block. Just to make it... Just to make it curve that little bit extra. Guys, it's the name of the series. It has to be a little bit extra. Come on. Anyways. Oh, that was fun for me. That's all that matters. Right? That's all that matters. So we're gonna go back to Minecraft real quick. In case you forgot this was a Minecraft stream and not a role-playing, dice-rolling RPG, maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's just a combat system. I feel like I could definitely do something with that. Okay, I'm picking up the seeds. I thought I wasn't for a second. I'm like, my inventory's full already? I want to go up this way. Basically, the path's gonna come, I think... around kind of straight here and then wrap down and around and then go up here into here. And then once I get to this point, I don't know which direction I'm going to go, but I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think that's good right there. I didn't push this over enough. See, the issue is when I have the chance to push things over a little bit more, I don't take them. I also do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could really push it over. I don't know about that. That's a lot. I was in work chat, so I came at the end. It's true, I can always catch the VOD one. Indeed. It was a real edge of the seat kind of a battle. I'm not gonna lie. It was insane. It was crazy. Oh boy. The end, I honestly, like, for the majority of that battle, I thought Baskalak was just gonna win. And then somewhere at the end, Karako, like, kind of got that adrenaline boost and was about to, like, almost take it from Baskalak. But then Baskalak, like, remained calm and still won. And, like, the fact that, like, Karako was hanging on to dear life at the end there. Like, 2 health was kind of crazy. Careful where you walk. Okay. Careful where you walk. Anyways, it's kind of crazy because I was just like, man, that's insane. But yeah. Insane. Oh, that was... Ooh. How do I want to do this? Yeah. Kind of want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me do this instead. I think I prefer that. Oh wait, what's... Oh no, that goes pretty far over. Okay, that goes not as far over as I thought it was going to go, if I'm being honest. I thought that was further. Okay. This one has a little bit. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that was just an insane fight, if I'm being honest. You're gonna die for this, you do know that, right? Cool! I feel like that was a very... Hold on, I feel like that was like... Let's see how that works. I don't think that did anything. I was like, that's a clippable moment right there. The issue is, one annoying thing is, like, when I clip stuff, or if other people clip stuff, it's kind of annoying, because, oh, wait. Right. Twitch is broken. I can't clip even if I wanted to. I have to go through the YouTube VOD if I want to get it. Honestly, I think I'm going to do this. I think this is going to be better. Yeah. Go a little bit. Yeah, it's nice. Okay. Yeah. So since I stopped watching The Rookie, I've been like, I need something new to watch, right? And I don't really know what's good to watch. So I'm like kind of dry, and then I was watching like a video about like world building, and bro casually dropped the name of an anime that I've wanted to know, but I've been just too lazy to... Ooh, head. Have been too lazy to look up to figure out what it was called. I finally got what it's called, and I'm now watching it. It's called Delicious in Dungeon. Yeah, Delicious in Dungeon. That's just it. Delicious in Dungeon. I don't need to go back. I had slots for that. Basically, bros almost died. 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost died the last battle they were in because they were hungry. So now they're like, how do we conserve our food? And it's basically, we'll eat the monsters and use them as food. And so they find this dwarf who's just 10 years going cooking up monsters and just knows everything and is just like cooking up. It's funny. It's a comedy, kind of action fantasy comedy. I'm enjoying it so far. I quite like it. I think it's funny. As I said, with like the whole like bingeable nature so far, holding true. Very bingeable right now, and I like that. I like that a lot. Honestly, I don't like straight paths, but I think I'm going to do this, because I think that just would look a lot better. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Alright, now we need to go down here. Then we're gonna pop that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool, cool, cool. I think this is just a straight shot. You're... I don't mind that this part of the path is going to be straighter, because this is like a whole town. So it kind of makes sense that like they would upkeep the path a lot better, and therefore it's much straighter, because they maybe built the path, this part of the path themselves. And so it's like partially, like I want the town, I want this path, the first path is going to run through the town, and that's the town we're going to build in our next episode. In the one we're making this path for, we're building a town as well. At least the beginning workings of a town. I think I'm going to flip it and build partially a town, and then say, that's enough, we'll work on it later, and have it be like a project we can work on in the background for stuff. And then this will also will turn into a town. There's another village out yonder I think I want to build a path to into a town. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of cool stuff we can do there. Really pretty cool indeed. Yeah. But I think this is going to be much straighter, because they upheld the path. So, like, the town will be right here, and there'll be a decent chunk there. But they still built the path, and I think, like, this is going to curve this way into the build, and then maybe another one of this will, like, basically I'll have 2 of these going in to the town, and then this part will just be open, I guess. I don't know, I haven't thought about it. I haven't built this town yet. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited, because, like, our world is we're getting to the point where I need a new base. Like, I love our Hobbitville, okay? Hobbitville. Just kidding, can't be Hobbiton, because that already exists in Lord of the Rings. No, you are a really fast horse, and I'd hate to kill you, but you know what? You did this to yourself. And I can breed up a really fast horse, and horses don't... Well, now that I have a giant path, it may be worth whipping it again, and just... you know, traveling far distances. It'll be great. It'll be great, they said. It'll be great. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Bop, 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 bop. Hey. Hey. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. I hope we can get at least to, like, halfway with the amount of coarse dirt I have left, because I'm a little worried that I'm not going to be able to get that. I kind of want to see. Thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I just smacked my mic. Okay, so I want the path to come up to, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want the path to be up here, and then we'll, like, build it up manually up to that point. 1, 2. But, like, it's areas like these where we'll need that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna kind of build the path top down right now. I think that'll be a lot easier to, like, figure out exactly what's going on. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not coarse dirt. And that way we can make this look nice and not have to dig away. We can expand. So we'll get rid of everything I was doing right here, and we'll worry about it later. Yeah. I didn't say you go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just casually terraform this area. Just a little bit. Okay. Oh, look at that moon. Dude, I was looking at the moon last night, and I just, like, every time I see the moon, I always just think to myself, I'm like, you know, it just always looks like a PNG. Just for whatever reason, it always looks like a PNG. Just copy-pasted. You're gonna be annoying. Every time I look at the moon, I'm just like, that's a PNG. Like, God just decided, I'm just gonna take a PNG of the moon and slap it up here. And that's what it looks like every time to me. I don't know why. It just does. And so I was looking at the moon, and I'm just like, yeah, I've thought this for a long time. Like, this isn't new. This isn't new. I've always thought this. Oh, we need to go right you here. Let's clear it away, and then we'll bring it. We'll bring it in to get that curve a little bit more natural. But yeah, and I think I've figured out the reason why it always looks like a PNG. And I think it's just the moon is so crisp that I think that's why it always looks like a PNG. It's just so crisp. That's funny. They're just casually. Left this side blank. So yeah, the moon looks like a PNG to me. Just does. Okay. And yeah, we're gonna need to bring our stuff over, which means we'll need another battle between some characters, which is gonna be crazy. And then I think we're kind of already started a tournament. Ironically, like, we've already got a tournament style going, so we just got to keep track of all of our contestants and stuff. I think we're gonna bring back a fan favorite. We're gonna re-roll his stats, so he may be really good or really bad now, because we'll re-roll his stats. But we're gonna bring back Vassarath. Yes, he will be coming back. That's exciting. You know, the terraforming wasn't supposed to happen today. It was meant to happen different time. It was just meant to happen at a later time. I am just going to follow this with the path, because it doesn't make sense for this not to be path. You know what I mean? We'll just brush it up against there. It just makes sense. It just does. Yeah. And then it goes up here. And then we'll make that. Cool, cool, cool. Let's bring our stuff over. Let's grab our stuff and set the camera up again and do another battle. That's wrong. Bop, 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 bop. Jeez. I actually did go through it. Bop. Dirt. Shulker boxes. Of course, dirt. Oh my gosh. And we almost have another shulker box full of dirt. It's crazy. It's crazy. This path. So crazy. Anyways, just so you guys know, this is where we started. We live here. And this is their current, like, villager town. We're bringing the path from here across, obviously, all of what you see here. All of this. We've been slowly bringing this path. We are going to be building bridges as well in these little areas here. This is where we're going to put a town. So we'll put, this is the town we're building today. So we're going to at least have the path go through. So what I probably will do is make a path that'll go where a town's supposed to be. And then build a couple buildings and say, here's the beginning works of a town that the pathway is going through. And we still need to get this. This is the distance that we need to cover. I think we've maybe... No, I think halfway is still this bridge. When we make it to this bridge here... I think, yeah, this area right here, I think, is the halfway point between these two locations. I think. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just making it up, I guess. Okay. Coolio Beanio, dude. Alright, so we've got all of these guys. We've got these. I'm actually going to push these over to this side, I think. So we can have... Here, let's have... Jotunheim won this battle. Yeah. Let's have winners go up top and losers down below. I can't remember who won. Varus won. Varus won that. Not a failure. So yeah. Oh wait. Sorry. Baskalak. Baskalak won this battle. Yeah. So these are the winners. These are the losers. We need to make... two new characters. Yeah. So we'll do that. You like the design of the books? I'm actually quite pleased with the design of the book. Also, you may notice that the special attack is null. Correct. And obviously, additional information is also null. I don't really write anything. The special attack was mainly for me when creating these characters. So that way I could figure some stuff out. But I'm actually going to add lore to these characters. So we're going to make Basarath again. This is the true Basarath. Right? So we're going to have Basarath male against... Should we do male v female battle? Let's have Yafana. I don't like the way that looks, I'm just saying. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's better. We have Ganya. Female. So, don't need the template anymore. What I do need... I just gotta make sure. Yeah, this is... Okay. There's our two characters. There's our two fighters, sorry. The warriors themselves. Warriors instruction manual. We'll roll Vasarath first. Let me... Oh, that's crazy. Put that back. I don't have a... I don't have a button for it, which is funny. Alright, Vasarath is going to be this side. It's going to be these die. Gray. Vitality, 57. That's average. He is going to get 6.0, though. Which means his first level of Mortal Wound he does not take. So that's kind of nice. His strength is 83, thank goodness. I was really hoping he'd still be strong. His strength, 83. Oh, his agility is 92. And his intellect is 56. Okay, so he's average intellect. I love how there's at least always one average or a bad stat, and then you have two good stats. Or you have two bad stats and then a good, or something like that. It balances out nicely. We already know what his weapon is. We're not going to roll for it because it has to stay. He's the Morningstar user. Yeah. So that's Vasarath. Ganya. Let's see which one is Ganya. She, 72. Okay. She's a little bit beefier than Vasarath is. Has a little bit more health. Which is kind of cool. Let's see, strength. Is she going to be strong as well? 44. Not particularly. She is average. 32. Below average. 41. Average. So she's average intellect. I feel so bad. Average stats, except for agility, which is below average, if I'm not mistaken. 32 is below average. Yes, 32 is sub-average. So she... I'm afraid this battle might be a quick one. We still need to roll for a weapon, which doesn't really adjust anything. 15. She's got... a whip! Crazy weapon right there, might I say. A whip. A whip. Alright. Vasarath versus Ganya. Let's do this thing. Unbiased die. Odd. Even. Ganya goes first. Which is probably fair. Ganya gets to go first. No mortal wound conditions. So she rolls an 8 to strike. Vasarath rolls an 8 to dodge. But Vasarath, friggin' 92, gets a +2 and he can dodge counters. Only once, though. Just kidding. Well, obviously, if he dodges a counter, you dodge a counter. He can dodge counters. Oh my gosh, this is such an unfair fight. But it's fine. It's Vasarath. We're rooting for him anyways. Sorry, we never wanted Ganya to win. We wanted Vasarath to win this. He's important. He's actually an important character. Anyways. So he rolls an 8, which is actually a +2. So that's a 10 to dodge. His intellect is only a 56, which is in average. But intellect average rolls... I went too far. Intellect average roll is 1d10. Does he get the counter? Sugar Pies, he does not. That's a 1-er. He dodges. He dodges the attack. Alright. Vasaroth goes for the attack. Rolls a 19, which is going to be a mortal wound. That's a maximum on the mortal wound, too. Ganya has a 32, so she's got a -1 to her dodge. She still dodges, though. She still dodges that. What? That's a 19, guy. Nat 20, but -1, because it's a 32, so she's sub-average. Rolls, that's a 19, that's still equal to or above this attack. So, it's a dodge. It's a freaking dodge. Okay. So she can roll for the counter. Her stats is also average for intellect. So that's going to be a D10. Does she get the counter? Does not. By the way, for a D10, for those of you who don't know, 0 is a 10. That's what we want to roll. 0 is 10. Dodge. That's just a successful dodge. So no counters, no attacks, nothing in the first 2 strikes. Pretty standard for the start. So that's a 10 to attack. That's not going to be mortal wounds, not for her. Against a 4, it's just a regular attack rate because she has 44 strength, average intellect, sub-average agility. She did roll sur-average on health though, which is nice. Nice for her. So that's going to be 10 damage for Vasaroth. Vasaroth takes the first blow, landing him with a 47. He better win this. He better win this. I am a biased commentator. I'm drinking a sip of Coke. I am thirsty. I am thirsty. Okay. So, what's next? That's a 10 to attack, so that's 10 damage. Right, she doesn't get the mortal wound condition because it's 15 or higher on average. 40 to 60, yeah, 15 or above, and she's got a 30 or a 44 on that, so she's average. That's just 10 damage. Vasaroth goes for the attack. Lands a 15, which once again is going to be a mortal wound, so that's going to be extra damage if she can't dodge. That's a -2, so that's going to be 17 damage for Ganya, and 1 level of mortal wound, which doesn't do anything, so 17. Let's -20 and add 3. So let's do 52, but actually 50. Oh, no, 55, sorry. +3. I do my math autistically. Put that in a quote book. Anyways, that's Ganya's turn. Or that's Vasaroth's turn. So he gets a mortal wound. She goes, doesn't have to worry about the first level. 15 to attack. Vasaroth rolls a 6. Not even with his +2 can that go through. That's a mortal wound. 15 or above for average strength. +1. That's 16 damage to Vasaroth. 16, so that's going to be 3, 1. 1 level of mortal wound. He also doesn't have to worry about it, but it gets sketchy the further it goes on. Just saying. So that's Vasaroth there. He now goes for the attack. He rolls a 4, to which she rolls a 12, even with her -1, right? Yeah. That's still greater than. So she gets to counter. Roll a d10. That's a 4. Does not get the counter, but dodges. Alright, it's her turn. Doesn't have to worry about that. I'm going to re-roll that because my thumb touched it. That's unfortunate. 11. So that's a successful dodge. Vasaroth's intellect is average. So we go counter. That's a counter, baby! Look at that. Counter. So that's 11 damage. +1. So 12 damage to Ganya. Vasaroth can dodge counters. Ganya cannot. That's the above average agility. You can dodge counters. That might be a little too powerful, but then again, I haven't seen it done before because I keep forgetting about it. So -10 is 4. -2, 3. Vasaroth now goes for the attack. Rolls a 6. Against a 9, that's a -1, 9, but that's still above. She can counter if she can. That's gonna be not a counter. Just a dodge. Vasaroth has not landed many hits here. The hits are very slow to start. Ooh. Ganya goes for the attack. 14 to attack. Vasaroth rolls a 16. Plus 2, 18. But it's only a 16 if he gets the damage. Goes for the counter. Lands the counter again. Oh my gosh, Vasaroth is crazy. Gets a 17 for damage. Oh my gosh. We're going to do the 20 again plus 3. So we're going to go 20, 26. Ganya's not doing so hot. The counters, the fact that they're landing counters is insane. So Vasaroth now goes for the attack. He rolls a 17. That's going to be a mortal wound if that lands, and that's a plus 3. So that's going to be 20 damage if that lands, plus a mortal wound condition. She rolls a 4, so Vasaroth is going to land that. So that's, what was it, 20? 20 damage for that, and that's a second level of mortal wound condition. Still, she's looking pretty good with 2 levels of mortal wound condition. A 7's really high, so she won't be taking as much of damage, but still threatening. Speaking of which, it is Ganya's turn. She now needs to roll a d8. If that rolls an 8, she's doomed. It rolled a 6. We're fine. She goes for a level 15 attack against a 5, so that does not go through. Well, it does go through, as in Vasaroth does not dodge, so that's a 15 there. So let's do -10. -20 plus 5. Find that to be the easiest way to do things, is do the easier math and then add or subtract what I need. Okay, that was that attack. Vasaroth still doesn't need to worry about mortal wound. Oh wait, 15. That was a mortal wound. 2 more damage, please. And add another level of mortal wound condition, please, and thank you. That was a mortal wound for average strength, 15 or above, remember? So that's going to be a d8 for damage. Does not land damage. Rolls a 10 for the attack. Against a 12. -1. That's still above, and I think that is not actually going to be that. So she gets to counter. Does she get this counter? I hope she does, so Vasaroth can dodge. 9 does not get the counter. Ganya's turn. Yeah, I need to move over to Ganya. Oh, wait. Yeah, that was Vasaroth's attack. Vasaroth attack. Yes. Ganya needs to attack. Rolls for mortal wound. Does not land it. 17 to attack. A 15 plus 2 is gonna make 17. So that's actually a dodge. And then counter? No counter. Just a dodge. That would have been another mortal wound. Vasaroth rolls for the mortal wound condition. Does not get hurt. Rolls to attack. Rolls an 11 to attack against an 18. Which is actually a 17. So but that's still going to go through. Roll for the counter. 2. Does not counter. Very slow battle so far. I'm not going to lie. It's a very slow battle. Ganya goes for the attack. 9 to attack. Against a 6 plus 2. Does not go through, which means Vasaroth takes 9 damage. We're going to make that 10 damage plus 1. Because that's just easier math. Vasaroth rolls for mortal wound. Does not go through. Rolls for an attack. 20. 20 on the attack. 26. 26 damage. And another level of mortal wound condition. That's going to be 86 damage. Should I keep the 0? No, that doesn't look good at all. We'll just do that. 86 damage there. Or, sorry, not 80. That would be crazy. 26 damage. And another mortal wound condition for Ganya. She cannot dodge a crit. Ganya now rolling a d10 for damage. Does not get it. Ooh, yeah, I'm smacking everything everywhere. Ganya goes for the attack. 8 on the attack. Against 12. That's going to be dodge regardless. Rolls for that. Does not get the counter. Vasaroth now up for an attack. Does not... Oh, that's close. That's a 6 right there. Almost gets mortal wound, but not. Rolls a 5 for the attack against a 12. So that is going to be a dodge. Can she counter? Does not counter. Ganya's turn to attack. Level 3. Gonna roll a d10. Does not get mortal wound. Rolls for the attack. Oh, she gets her own 20. That's 23 damage for Vasaroth on the crit. 85. 82. That's crazy. He's now lower than Ganya. And that's another mortal wound condition. Did I already add it? Crap, did I already add that? No, I didn't. He's been rolling 8s for that. So that's level 3 on both of them for mortal wounds. They both have to roll d10s. Speaking of which, it's now Vasaroth's turn. So 9 points of damage. So we're going to do -2, which makes 7, which makes 73. Yeesh. And then he's going to attack with a 16. That's going to be another mortal wound. Against a 7, that lands. 7. That's going to be 23 damage for Ganya. So 63. And that's 4 levels of mortality. That's pretty bad. I just had an idea. What if you get to level 5, anytime you do another mortal wound hit, instead of gaining an extra level, you roll like a d6 and you gain extra damage. So like it's in addition to the d8, you roll a d6 for extra damage. So that way, you know, you still, because you're now mortal, like you're really dying. I just did that. So that is, did I roll? Yeah, she rolled a 7. I moved it out of the way. That's right. Ganya now goes for the attack. Level 4 is going to be a d12. Still does not go through. I don't even think she has taken mortal wound damage. 2 to attack. 2 to dodge. Still a successful dodge, by the way. Does not land the counter. Vasaroth is level 3, so he's going to roll d10. 7 is going to take that damage. And 4, 66. It's going to roll for the attack. 19 to attack, which is another mortal wound. So that's 4 extra points of damage against a 3. So that's going to be 23 extra points and level 5 mortality. 23. So that's going to be 40 hit points. Ganya's not looking so hot. Now, this is where the big damage comes in. Roll the d20 for damage. 12 points of damage there. So we're going to lower this to 30. 28. For the attack, though, is a 16 to attack. Still sharp on her edges. 19 to dodge. Rolls for the counter. Does not land the counter. Vasaroth's turn. Rolls d10 for damage. 4 does not go through. Rolls for the attack. 5 to attack against a 9, which is actually an 8. 9, so gets the ability to counter. Does not land the counter, so it's just a dodge. Ganya rolled for damage. 6 does not go through. Rolls for attack. 15. Against a 17. Does not manage to get the counter. Vasaroth. 9 points of damage for Vasaroth. He then goes for the attack. 8 for the attack. 3 for the dodge. That goes through. Ganya's now at 20 health. Alright. She goes 7 points. Does not get that. Goes for the attack. 16 to attack. Against an 11. That goes through. And that's a mortal wound. 4. That's a 20. That's a 20 on damage. That's a 20. 4th level of mortal wound to Vasaroth. Vasaroth now rolling a d12 for damage. 5. Does not go through. 20! 20! That's crazy. Mortal wound. +1. 21 points of damage. That Is Ganya down? Oh, baby. 220s on Ganya is crazy. That's crazy. Alright. Oh, we all saw it coming, but it's still a good sight to see, you know? It's still a good sight to see, nonetheless. So, that means Vasaroth is moving on, Ganya is not, and we're slowly memorizing the instructions. So, what do you think about that mortal wound stuff that I was just talking about? You know what I mean? Like, if you get, you get an extra d6 if they're at level 5. No, if you land another mortal wound, you get an extra d6 of damage. So you do more damage. So basically you hurt, because like think about it, if you're hurting and you get hurt more, you're gonna hurt even more. Like, you're not dodging that, bonk. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying. Alright, back to path. That one wasn't nearly an edge sitter as you'd expect that to be. Though there were times where like it got pretty exciting. Boop. It's the sound of the popo. I'm gonna have a summer chill. Sorry, that just like popped into my head randomly. Yeah, we want to go up through that. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 5. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thick. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Gucci Gucci. We like this. Okay, we need to figure out where we're going. That's like, I think the important thing. I definitely feel like there are some kinks that Warriors of the Mind could improve on. By being honest. I'm just being honest. There are areas that I think could see improvement in due time. Not right now. Later. I don't know. As mentioned, I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like, I don't know. I like how in the start it definitely is slower. And then, whoa, a little bit of a lag spike right there. Not a huge fan of that. Nya, nya, nya. You don't like the lag spike. Okay. So now I've got to think, where are we going? Are we following this edge through here? Or are we going basically straight through here, right next to this giant hole, wrap around, and come through? I honestly think going through this part would be cooler. So going this way, wrapping around, wrapping through, going down, and at least getting to this portion. So I'm actually going to clear my inventory. We're not doing another game. We're not doing another battle yet. We just need to clear some trees. And it's easier to do that with a full inventory. Oop, that doesn't belong there. That belongs in here. Alright, it's time for another junk chest. Bonk. Because we're going to need it. Actually, I'm going to leave this one out because we're going to get some of this stuff. I think it would be better. Okay. Actually, let me get some more food. Just do that. Okay, now we can start tearing away the trees. So we want to go this way. We want to kern. We want to kern this way. Oh, it's raining. No. Do some massive deforestation, you know, like you do, It's great. There's something big outside, because I can hear it from here. Some big truck or something, I don't know. A moving truck or something, I don't know. And if you're worried, like, oh, there's not going to be enough plant life and stuff around the path, once we figure out a tree design that I'm happy with and want to, like, place around, at least for certain areas, we will be building our own forest for the path. So don't worry about the fact that we're doing, like, this massive deforestation here and, like, what it's going to look like now that there's no trees. Don't worry about none of that. I think that was actually it. Nice. It's not important. And now all that's important. So get rid of these trees. Get rid of this one as well so that the leaves can dissipate over there. Because we're going to basically build the forest back in eventually. I say put a huge pin in that because the likelihood of that happening is very rare because I'm not a very good tree builder. And I know in order to learn how to build trees, I have to just build trees. And I do go into creative testing worlds, try to build some, but they just all look so bad. And I just don't know what the essence of a good custom tree is quite yet. I can build small scale custom trees, but that's about it. And I want large scale custom trees to fit the foresty vibes. Because, like, you think about it, when you're in a forest, the trees are larger than you, and a small custom tree just doesn't get that vibe that I want. That, like, B-Dubs has going on. So, like, I'm kind of waiting for Hermitcraft Season 10 to go out so I can look at B-Double-O's trees and, like, study them. Because that's some crazy stuff right there. So that's all I'm saying. I just, either that or I'm going to nab them for at least my area. For, like, where the Hobbit town is. Because that surrounding area, that's meant to be a forest. I wanted to put a forest there, but I'm just very bad at custom trees. And I don't always like stealing designs. Don't worry, I give credit where credit is due. I say steal as a more jokative way of explaining that I like to get inspired by other people's designs and nab their ideas. I mean, by the minute, the idea for that came from somebody else. I saw a video that I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. What if I did that as well? And I gave credit to them for at least the first 20 episodes, which, by the way, I think episode 20 aired today. And I think I need to do a couple more episodes. I do large quantities of episodes at one sitting, but one episode gets uploaded every day. That keeps the content generator running, so that way I've always got some form of content. Now, they're not very popular. They're not doing as well as I was hoping they would do to invoke more, which is fine. Yeah, this is where I want to go. I want to make sure. I think I actually am supposed to go here. The issue with this birch forest, though, is it's very holy. Not that kind of holy. Like, there's a lot of holes in it. So I gotta think about how to deal with that. I'm really glad these trees are not very large. Did you see a skeleton, or is that a dog walking there? I don't know. Hopefully it was a dog just walking there. Okay, but I do kind of need to get rid of these, if I'm being honest. They're big and they're in the way. This one is much larger, which is rather unfortunate, because it just is. I think that's everything, yep. I kind of have to do small portions, because, like, when you do large deforesting sessions, it's really hard to tell exactly what's going on, because you've removed so much, and then, like, the trees don't deforest, like, immediately, so you're trying to just tell, like, what's gone, what's still there, and, like, is that actually the desired path that you're looking for? Did you accidentally go too much in one direction, like I was just doing there, like I was going in the wrong spot? But yeah, we want to go down this way. We just got rid of that tree. And that's not touching that, so that's nice. So we don't have to get rid of that. So I'm getting down here. Which I was just kind of a blob. To like here. Let's go the other way. Okay. I've been really sad if that went away right as I jumped on it. Okay. Now we're getting into the birch forest, where it's really annoying because they're just tall enough that I keep placing my blocks wrong. Is that fine? That's fine. I feel like logically, I probably should get the leaves off of these trees. Just a thought. Because, like, if I talk about all these custom trees, I'm going to need leaves for those trees. And right now, we's not getting that. Because, like, for example, this area right here is going to be a birch forest. I want to make custom birch trees for this. But I don't know how to do... I don't even know how to make a custom oak tree. Like, that looks natural. And I want, like, pine-like trees for... the villager village. So there's always that too. There's a lot to think about, a lot to process. Yeah. Well, that should be enough cleared to get a rough idea of wanting to go down here into here. Once again, we'll have to customly bring it down to make it look natural, and we'll probably honestly keep it at this level and just go up. So we'll break through this level. I think we'll have it down here. Stay at that level, go down a little bit to here, and then match into that. And then go here, so I think I'll start that, and then wrap it up. And then have it go from here, all the way around, wrap around, and go through here. Basically wrap around this giant hunk of land. I don't know. I think with some texture, this could look really nice. Like, not a noisy texture, but like a gradient or something. I don't know. Make it look like there's shadows on it, so it looks like it's more protruding, but keep it flat, and then put trees in front of it so you can't actually see it very well. So like, you know, you'll be walking along the path here, because it'll wrap this way, and then we'll have some big trees like blocking this entire protrusion, but we'll decorate it a little bit so that way you can see some of it, and you know it's going to be great. It's going to be nice. It's going to be awesome. Trust the process, I think. I don't know, man. All right. And retire this to there, to that. That'll be our new one. Alright, so we need more path. More path. We only have 2 more things of coarse dirt. Just crazy. Though we almost have another shulker box of dirt here, so that's nice. We won't have to collect nearly as much dirt, at least, to get another 8 shulker boxes of coarse dirt, because I think we're going to need another 8. We need to go here. We want to end here, and we're only here, and this is roughly 6 shulker boxes of coarse dirt getting from this point to that point, which is crazy. But look, it looks so nice. It looks so nice. It looks so flat. Oh, it's kind of funny. Anyways. Look at that. A little dirt digger area. There's actually something I wanted to build in this area. Oh, yeah. Maps. Possibly for a thing. We'll need to think of where we want to put our actual, like, main base, our actual, like, storage system that we were going to go back to every single time. And you know what? This is a long-term survival series, so there's a possibility that I'm going to want to make several different storage systems as we, like, grow. So, like, in building, mainly. Because probably the first one I want to make will be one style, and then maybe we want to make another mega base that's a different style, but we want to put a storage system in there, and we might, like, who knows, there might be enough blocks that we don't make it big enough for everything. Granted, I'm too much of a planner to allow that to happen, because I would most likely plan that I would run out of stuff and fix it. So, you know, there's that. But yeah. Alright. I think I'm going to end stream here and probably go live again later tonight. It's only Monday, so we can continue this. Maybe. I'm going to put a pin in that. I'm definitely going to live stream Wednesday and Thursday. I definitely want to do that. But we'll see about the other day, tonight, whether or not I want to live stream that. So we'll see. Put a pin in it. But might be live, so keep a lookout for that. Anyways, that's going to do it for today.